Hey, what's up? Hello, my name is Carl Batumbakal and this is Nico Rocha, and welcome to another episode of The Philo Step. Now, today we're just going to be discussing one game from the currently ongoing NBA playoffs, and for today we're going to be talking about the near upset of the Golden State Warriors against the Houston Rockets earlier today. Now, Nico, this was a very interesting game from start to finish. At first, it didn't look like it, but somehow the Rockets made it interesting. So I just want to hear right now, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, I initially said that this is a Warriors in seven, right? I think we could revisit that and make it a Warriors in five. I think I saw one comment stating that I'm not a Warriors fan because I said Warriors in seven. I mean, bro, you can still be a Warriors fan as long as they win, right? It doesn't matter if it's 4, 5, 6, 7, as long as they move on to the next round. But I was just being realistic because for me, again, I keep mentioning that I believe in Houston's defense, but it will be their experience or lack of experience that will bring them down. That will hinder them from making it to the next round. So just for this one, like my observations again, Steph Curry in this game one was the chef they needed. He delivered. He was assisted by the Butler, who looked like a defensive player of the who looked like an incredible defensive player. I mean, when Jimmy's locked on, Carl, we all know this. Whenever it's playoff Jimmy, you know that you are going to get a superstar
Oh
that
yeah.
that could rival the best of them. Oh, playoff Jimmy. Talking about playoff Jimmy, not regular season Jimmy. And
Yeah.
then guys like Pods showed up. Draymond did his best to contain Shengun, and then Moses Moody with that. I would say it's a dagger three that kind of put
Mhm.
the game away for the Warriors in game one.
I would say the same thing, but since you really discussed I think I would say the most important part of the Warriors win today. I think I'm gonna take it down to the Houston Rockets. So these guys, they nearly pulled off a comeback in the third quarter. Early on, even in the second quarter, they made a strong run to close out the second quarter and just get that momentum entering the second half, and they almost capitalized on it. They got close to, I think it was 3 points at most. They
It was three
nearly
points, yeah.
retook the
From
lead.
20 up 23,
23,
the Warriors.
27.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Warriors were up huge.
Yeah. So it was surprising, which is also good for the Rockets. At least they showed fight against this extremely talented Golden State Warriors team. But now the question that well, not really a question, but more of an observation that Reggie Miller made in the game earlier today was that the Warriors had at least two or three known bucket getters that if you give the ball to them, they're going to find a way to score regardless of the situation. But as for the Houston Rockets, you're not sure yet because as we talked about, we discussed about this earlier. You had Jalen Green going for 3 out of 15 and just 7 points. You have Amen Thompson for 8, but he did play good defense in fairness to him. And then you have Dylan Brooks with a 3 for 9. And then lastly, Fred Van Vliet's very amazing 4 of 19 and 2 out of 13 from 3 point range shooting for this game. So you're not gonna win a game with this kind of performance for the Houston Rockets, but I still believe that this will be a good game seven series. You called it earlier that it was a game seven for the
You still
Warriors.
believe
Yeah,
it's a game
yeah,
seven.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. It's a young team and it's their first taste of the playoffs, as in this entire core, and it's talented enough to at least push the series to 6 or 7 at the very most. Now, the only reason why I say or 6 or 7 is because there is now a sense of how would I explain it? A sense of worry or a sense
Okay.
of doubt
Urgency?
planted in my mind. Like, not really urgency. It's like the Warriors know that they are more talented than the
Okay.
Rockets. But at the same time, it's like the Rockets don't understand just how good they are, that they can actually compete with the Warriors. And they saw this firsthand earlier with that third quarter run that they had. So it might be a 7 game series.
For Carl, I believe that what do you call this? When the Rockets went double big with Steven Adams and Alperen Sengun, that really worked for them, right? It was an odd lineup, but I think it was one of the major reasons why they were able to catch up in the third quarter. It's more of, I would give it to Steven Adams for getting them so much offensive boards during that stretch. And when they went to their, I believe it's a lineup that they could experiment moving forward. It's a lineup that they could keep utilizing. I'm not sure what's the plus minus with that lineup, but all I saw were extra possessions for the Rockets when they fielded that Steven Adams, Alperen Şengün front court. And Draymond was really having a hard time, and Quinton Post was getting schooled by Alperen Şengün. As we all expected, it's an all-star up against a rookie like Quinton Post, who's not as fleet-footed like Şengün. But ultimately, I mean, going back to the, I mean, aside from the positives of the Rockets, right? Jalen Green didn't show up. Fred Van Vliet was his usual self. Is it the right term, Carl? Was his usual self,
Yeah, yeah,
usual
he
inefficient
was.
self. So what the Rockets need is Jalen Green to give you 20 points, and then maybe a Fred Van Vliet wherein he makes 40 to 45% of his field goals.
Yeah, at the very least, because he's what he shot 21.1 earlier today, and then you
What's
have
for 20 or no, for 19.
4 for 19. That's 21.1. So you have Jalen Green also
It's
going for
horrible.
20%, an even 20. And then curious that you pointed out Steven Adams. Actually, he's the only
Right?
one with a positive plus minus for the Rockets. So
Steven
something is
Adams was
happening
great.
right. They were doing something right with Steven Adams, but can they exploit those matchups enough going into game two? Because my worry entering game two is that Steve Kerr, or at the very least Steph, would recognize what the Rockets are getting out of Steven Adams and Sengun, both on the floor.
I feel like they would do more of that. They would try experimenting with that one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was expecting Atari Eason a blow up game, or like expect him to at least show up. But then again, these are the playoffs, and the playoffs are not an easy thing to navigate. So it's quite understandable that the Rockets dropped this one. But the fact that they got within three after being down very, very badly in front of
Hmm.
their hometown fans, I do believe there could be a game six or a game seven series. This one will be.
Yeah, for sure. And then again, Carl, like a while ago, how do we expect this game? How do we expect game two to move forward? I mean, not sure if you're gonna say the same thing a while ago that we talked about, but how do you assess game two?
After eating dinner and drinking a lot of water,
After
after refueling my energy after a very, very long day, I am not sure, honestly, at this point. Like, it can go either way, I think. I think that Moody can keep shooting like he did earlier today. Or, I mean, Brandon Podziemski, I'm sorry. He had 3 of 8. I think he can do better. And I also think that Gary Payton the second will be a more positive impact, will have a more positive impact on defense. I think Draymond will step it up a bit. Jimmy Butler could step it up, but at the same time, I do expect names like Jalen Green and Amen Thompson to be better. Amen Thompson, I'm sorry. Jalen Green, I don't see him going 3 for 15 again, though.
I do. I do,
In
I
the
do.
playoffs.
I do. I feel like Jalen Green will not get it going in game two yet. Oh, I just love that we can share takes like this for now. I mean, I want us to grow, right? When we reach that point, I don't think we could say. Oh, actually, we can still say
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah, we
It's
have to.
all objective to the game. It's all honest to the game. We're not destroying anyone personally, so we just base it off their performances.
That is
Anyway,
true.
go ahead.
That is true. Yeah, no, honestly, that's just it. Um, yeah, Jalen Green, I don't expect him to repeat this. I expect him to be better, not like 50% shooting type of thing. I expect him to be closer to at least 40, 42 from the field to at least
Mm-hmm.
give the Rockets a much better chance of stealing game two away from the Warriors and enter their home floor with this series at the 1-1 level.
Well, let's see, man. So for me, it's still 2-0. I want the Warriors to
Ooh.
go up 2-0. Then maybe the Rockets could still want at home, and then the Warriors end it. in Houston. I don't know. Oh, before we conclude this, girl, I just realized that Steph Curry is like the LeBron James to how LeBron was to Toronto. Steph Curry has an amazing games in Houston.
That's true.
You should
That's
check
actually
that
true.
out.
He
That's
has
his
owned them for a while.
LeBronto. That's his
He has owned them
LeBronto.
for a while. I agree. I
Yeah,
actually agree
right.
with that.
Yeah, exactly. So you could check out some of the video highlights of the Warriors without KD, and they would beat Houston. So
Oh yeah,
I feel like
definitely.
it continues here in this series. But a lot to expect only game one, and I love how we're already in the NBA playoffs. We're upping the uploads, and we thank you our 4 subscribers that we got from Shorts.
Woo.
So hope you guys watch our long form, but we just appreciate that you were watching our shorts. It starts there. We need just a little bit of momentum. It was just an experiment, right, Crow? It's like, okay, well, how about we try?
Definitely.
And I was like, oh, we got 4 subscribers here.
And it worked.
Yeah, and it worked.
Why
More to
not?
come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. What are we
hmm
waiting for? Let's close this out.
Just a quick,
Let's send the people
it's like a
home.
quick summary of what we think. So we're gonna do a lot of these. We're gonna do a
Yeah,
lot of these till the finals for sure.
definitely. Definitely. So yeah, that has been the Warriors and the Rockets for game one.
hmm
We will see you guys again very soon. And yeah, that's just it for us today. And see you.
See you guys. Peace.